it sent everybody into a panic mode on Friday when it was announced that Arion Carter was withdrawing from the draft and entering the NCAA transfer portal. Here's the thing. He was not going to be guaranteed to come back to Tennessee when withdrawing from the NCAA or withdrawing from the NFL draft, just because that is a position that Tennessee was already pretty full in. You had, as we've discussed many times on the show, Perlotti and Spillman, the depth you have coming back from this season. Jeremiah Thielander hasn't gone anywhere. You got two incoming freshmen in Braden Rouse and TJ White. So that's five guys right there at linebacker. Plus, you've got Amari Campbell transferring in from Penn State. That's six guys. So how are you going to fit Arion Carter into this mix? But eventually, of course, they must have gotten together over the weekend and made something work. And sure enough, they did. Because Arion Carter announced on Sunday night that he was coming back to the Tennessee linebacker room. And again, I'm not much of a hot take artist. I dropped one on you guys earlier in the show, but I don't generally tend to do that. This Tennessee linebacker room headed into 2026 is one of the deepest in the country. When you top to bottom what it has, and I hear the Thielander complaints every now and again and understand them to a certain extent. But you look at what they have with Perlotti and Spillman coming back. You like what you got coming in with White and Rouse being two top 10 linebackers in the class of 2026. You got Amari Campbell coming in as well, who has got over 100 tackles at another school in the Power 4 ranks. Plus, you get Arion Carter back, who's been the leader of your defense for, basically going on 2 seasons now. You have to be ecstatic about this room if you're William Inge, and far and away the best it has ever looked under Josh Heupel.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. This is the most stacked linebacker core I've seen Tennessee have in a long time, going back to the AJ Johnson, Kurt Magid days. And I think they got potential to be even better than they were. I don't know how they make things work with Amari Campbell and Arion Carter coming back, but you love to have this kind of wealth if you can have it. And after seeing what Perlotti and Spillman did last season as freshmen, I wouldn't be surprised that TJ White and Braden Rouse ended up, unless they want to try to redshirt them, we'll have to wait and see as the season goes on. But they could have meaningful reps too and become pretty good players as well. And then Jim Knowles, what kind of pedigree he brings. He brought Ohio State to a national championship and they won. I cannot believe that Tennessee was able to turn such a huge glaring issue into a very positive for the team. And I agree with you, Tucker. I think that Tennessee has one of the best linebacker cores in the country now, which is just crazy to say based on how last season unfolded.
Yeah. You are essentially 7 deep at that position now. And it's crazy to just think how much better this defense has gotten overnight just with some of the portal acquisitions that you made. Now, I will say this about the NCAA transfer portal and teams that acquire a lot of pieces out of this, and this could be the case with Tennessee this year for a couple games. You may have to bear with it. But sometimes they take a second to gel. It's not always easy for teams to kind of figure it out early on in the season. Now, they have gotten better as the season has gone on. Prime example of this, Ole Miss 2024, where you had a team that drops a stinker of a game at home to what is a bad Kentucky team. But down the stretch, they really start to get a feel for things. They get that big win over Georgia. Of course, they did have the loss at Florida, and then I know there was the loss at LSU. But overall, they were able to get it rolling down the stretch. And I think that's something that hopefully Tennessee is firing a little bit quicker than that, but it's impressive what this staff has assembled. And the offense, there's no guarantee that it is in the same position as it was last season if Joey Aguilar is not your quarterback. you just got to hope Josh Heupel does enough to get his quarterback ready for next year. But again, you really, really have to like where this team is headed, just with everything that you've acquired on the defensive end and how good this team looks overall, just from a roster standpoint. And now, as we talked about to begin the show, from a coaching standpoint, with what it's acquired with strength and conditioning coaches and on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's got a lot more experience this season in terms of their players, and it's going to be exciting to watch. I mean, it's seemingly Tennessee has filled every hole possible to make this team better. The only real questions that I really have with the Tennessee team, this Tennessee team, is like, one, like what happens with Joey Aguilar? Two, is the kicking game going to improve? Because I don't know what to think about Ranveer yet. And then what is Tennessee going to do in the return game? Outside of that, I'm not really concerned at any position that Tennessee has on their roster. I mean, for most of the season, like through like 9 games, Tennessee had one of the best offensive lines in the country. We always believe in Rodney Gardner. We're huge fans of him on the show, and we always believe that he could roll anyone out there on the defensive line and find success. And then got a stacked linebacker core now, got 2 solid safeties and someone that played the star position, not to mention to bring Ty Redmond back, and arguably one of the best wide receiver cores in the country. I mean, Tennessee can make waves in 2026. It's just, can they all mesh together? Can everything click? And I think that a big key with this is the fact that Tennessee was able to get some of these Penn State players to come over. And like I said, be able to help bring some of these other players up to speed. I don't know if there's going to be an alpha battle between Amari Campbell and Arion Carter, but even if there is, they could make each other better in the long run. And then, I don't know. I mean, I could see this Tennessee defense flying around and being crazy. And then on top of that, you already know the wide receiver core is going to be good. You already know Deshaun Bishop's going to be good. I mean, the future's looking really bright for Tennessee, and not to mention the recruiting class they put together this year. Like we mentioned TJ White and Braden Rouse, but there's so many other guys too. Tristan Keys. Like, the future is looking pretty nice for Tennessee, and it's just so awesome that Josh Heupel finally made the hard decisions that he had to do and get rid of some of these coaches on the coaching staff, because I don't think he's playing around anymore. I think that he's heard the complaints from social media and from the fan base, and I feel like he's trying to right his wrongs. We'll have to wait and see how the play calling ability goes, like in crunch time. But I mean, Tennessee seems to be pretty stacked moving forward.